Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers. In today's episode, we're going to take a little look at a lawnmower that came in. It came in for an inspection, which is what I normally do when lawnmowers are breaking down. I offer an inspection fee, and that pretty much diagnoses what's going on with the engine, what needs to be done, and I give the owner of the lawnmower a bill as to say what needs to be done and at what cost, and therefore they can make their decision up. That's what we want to do. This gentleman bought in a mount field. I think it's a self-propel 534 21-inch, but it came with an RV 150 engine on, which is one of the sealed tank, which is quite an old machine, and they're not very popular in the Micks Mowers shack. However, that's what it came in. He said it was running 3 weeks ago, but now has failed to start. I have since had it running to a fashion, but nothing sensible. Done a compression test. It's coming at about 40 psi on the compression, which is about right, just to make a machine fire, but it's a little bit low what it should be. The pull cord assembly is actually broken on it. It's got a split fuel tank, so I broke it all down to a bloke to say what it needed. And you can't buy those all-in-one tanks anymore. You have to buy the conversion kit, and the conversion kit alone is £45–50, something like that. Anyway, long story shorter, he said not a problem, I'll come down, and I waived the inspection fee that I charge, and he purchased one of my mowers, and I took that mower in as part exchange, because I have a couple of engines which I might better fit onto this machine to bring it back up to where it needs to be and to make a bit more profit on it. So all in all, I've sold a lawnmower, got a lawnmower in, and hopefully this lawnmower is going to cost me nothing to get up and running and should make a tiny little profit on top of all of that. So super happy. If this is the first time I'm watching Micks Mowers, hit the subscribe button and whack your bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told via your YouTube app on your phone or smart device that I've released a video, or in fact I'm on my Saturday night wiki live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out this little lawnmower. Right, so here it is, little tiny RV 150 or SV 150, same sort of thing. Engine on here, I don't know what year it is, it's about a 2006, I'm going to say, a rough guess. 2006, yeah, exactly that. That's about right for this sort of engine. It was mucking about. It had a pull cord assembly issue. When you pulled it, this was all moving in here, and on closer inspection, this arm's actually broken just here. You can see how that one's straight and how this one's actually bent up and snapped. So that's why the pull cord was working intermittently. You can't buy these anymore. They're done with. But also over here, if I tip it round, there's a fuel leak just here. Okay, just there. Can you see that? You get a bit closer so you can see. There's got a fuel leak just there, so it's leaking out fuel as well. And they're common for that. So that's no good. However, engine off, paint job, tidy up spruce and donut engine, and let's see what we've got outside that'll go straight onto this to increase the value. Okay, so I've got a couple of engines. This one here is actually good to go. It just wants a new primer bulb put on that. That'll be coming up soon. I've got this little kiddie, nice little mount field with a Honda on top, but as you can see, big hole in the deck. So let me get a bit of petrol. There is petrol in the tank, but it wouldn't start on its own back, so I'm sniffing the shed. Right, so I've got a little bit of two-stroke fuel here, which I'm going to put in. Now, I have actually bought a different microphone, which should be coming this week. It's a lavalier mic, which clips on, so this is hanging. I don't like that. But I have purchased another one, which hopefully will improve it even more. So let's put a bit of two-stroke fuel into here. Tip this engine up. I don't want it on choke if I can help it. Let's tip that up and pour just a little bit of two-stroke in there, not a lot, just a tiny amount. And all I want this machine to do is just fire. That's all I want to do. So let's see if it just fire up. Wind that cable on the choke and see what happens. Okay, so it actually runs. Will it run off its own back? I don't think it will. It doesn't like to idle very well. It's just cut out there. So bring it down to idle. Should go a bit lower than that. No, it's not idling as well as it should do. So it has got a bit of a fuel issue, so but we can sort that out. But however, it runs. It's a Honda overhead cam jobby 135cc. So that's nice. That'll go straight on that mower. And the blade will fit as well. This is a 21-inch cut. So let's go back indoors and we'll take the other engine off, strip it down, paint it up, and then we'll put that engine on it. That'll look quite sweet. Okay, so here it is, this little Mountford RS jobby. Not overly concerned about keeping the pull cord for it because that's a bit sort of done anyway. So we'll cut that off, but we'll keep some bits and pieces off of this. We'll definitely keep the pull cord itself, and then we'll keep there's a little bit of fuel in there, not a lot. I'm going to keep the fuel cap, that'll be kept as well. I'll put that to one side for now. Other bits and pieces I'm going to keep off this engine will be all the guard. The carburettor should be good. The coil I'll keep. The micro switch I'll keep. Maybe the exhaust and what have you. But apart from that, this engine is done, finished with. So I want a couple of bits and pieces to remove some cables and such like. So we're going to remove the dead man first, which is just at the back here, because it'd be slightly different on the Honda we're going to put on. So pinch them together and retract that. So that can be the first to come off. That's a very, very tight fit. That's it. That's first. Get my D-walt, and I just want to remove quite as well on there some of these bits. Right, they'll all be kept. The airbox I can keep. The gasket is not too bad. Our gasket is gone, but keep the airbox. So that's a keeper. Keep those. The carburettor we're going to keep. The linkages we'll keep because they're all bits and pieces that we're going to need later on in life. Fuel tank's now gone, so there's a carburettor. That's an LHP 16, should be. Let's have a little look. LHP 16. So I've got a spare one of those. So that's good. Should be a good carburettor. Hopefully it gets cleaned. But apart from that, that's pretty much going to be a couple of springs, a couple of clips, a couple of bits and bobs. That's going to be about your lot. Want to remove the throttle cable, done with a Phillips screwdriver or flathead. Just loosen that off because we're going to need that for the Honda. Now this should all be literally retrofit, like for like. Shouldn't have any new parts on this machine, which would be good. So that's that now taken off. And then let's clear the decks. All we're then going to possibly need is, oh, by the way, bought myself a new live chair streaming chair. Look at that, that's cool. New chair just for live streaming. Well happy with it. A bit more comfier too, it tilts back. So now we're on a 13mm half-inch spanner maybe. Let's go for a 13 first. Try that. What's that? That says 12. I don't know why that's marked up 12. Shouldn't be. I only mark up my 13 inches. There's an old 13. Try that. Yeah, that should go on there. We like that. Now I'm going to tip this machine up. Like so, and you've got some bits and pieces to remove here. Now bear in mind that there is oil in this machine, but we're not overly concerned about that. Okay, let me just swap out my socket for a 13mm. It should be that one there. And then all you want to do, there's no chance of this machine starting, definitely not. I want to remove my blade first, which that'll be a 14mm. I managed to get my breaker bar on that. Let's turn it up a couple of notches. No, that's good. Off comes the old blade. Boss is missing the old tabs, but that's no biggie. I've got the Honda one I can worry about. Is that going to come off or not? Is that loose? No. So you've got a spare boss there, which would be quite good. I don't worry too much about these pins. I don't worry too much about those. So that was a 14mm. Let's grab a 13mm now, and I will loosen these nuts. Put the spanner over the far side and just stop that bolt from spinning. And there's 3 of those to do. keep the bolts because the engine bolts are mainly for the Honda. So there's one there to do, there's one there to do, there's one behind here. You've got to remove this grass catcher cover as well. So let me get them done and I'll come back in 2 ticks. Okay, engine's off. Actually, the bolts were really mega loose. They weren't on there at all tight. Took the grass guard off, took the belt off as well. The belt is actually in really good condition. It looks darn near brand new, to be fair. So happy with that. Gonna wander up the top of the garden now. Got a little tiny jet wash up there. I'm gonna give it a bit of a happy birthday. Give it a jet wash off, get it all cleaned off, get a grass buster in there and get all this grass matter, that can all come out, get rid of all of it. Do the top as well, so when you next see this will be absolutely gleaming clean and it'll be ready for a paint job. And I'll then get the other mount filled in with the Honda. I'm gonna take the engine off of that one and then we'll be ready for painting. Okay, so the other mount fill's outside now. It's had a wash behind the ears and what have you. Got a couple of spares I want to take off this as well. You know, throttle cable, the top arms, the levers, they're all good. The cables are fantastic, so nothing will be spared from this, even some of the wheels and what have you. In fact, I have another one of these with a slightly rotten deck, which I'm thinking about doing a repair job on it, fiberglassing it. So this potentially, apart from the engine, could be used as a complete donor for the other one I have just the same as this. So there could be another one coming out soon. So what we've got to do with this, there is a bit of petrol in there. Let's just turn the petrol off. Like so, there's a bit of oil in here as well. 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3 to undo the engine. Take the blade off, exactly the same. Remove the cables, exactly the same as I did it on the other machine. No different at all. Only difference is the cables on the other machine come down this side, and on the Honda they go the other. So let me just now take the blade off, take the engine off, and then I'll come back to you once that's done, and then we can get on with our mower. Okay, so someone's actually made a little adaptation here, not a great big deal. You know, remember how I said the other boss, the tabs have been had come off of it. Someone's actually, the same's happened on this machine. What they've done is they drilled through the boss and put 2 little tiny 8-10mm bolts through there to keep it centralised. So that is a good little fix. I do that from time to time to keep the boss on there central. So just thought I'd let you know, let you see that. That's another little hack. You can just drill through the boss. Right, so that is the old mountful with a Honda engine. That's now out. Engine is off and all good. Got a repair to do too, just here, and an adjustment. Arm is slightly broken. I might have a spare for that. Got to double check. Not a problem. But now it's all been hosed off inside and out. These cool customer helpline stickers, they're all going to come off. Okay, warning: do not turn this machine on its side. I just let the customer know that. All that sort of stuff will come off. I will leave the ID tag on though, which tells you the make, model, all that sort of stuff to a certain degree. But what I'm going to be using is this black hammered Hammerite. Now the reason I use this is a hammered paint anyway, okay, and it does all the little tiny bits and pieces that I'm going to scrape off and sand down. It disguises those or hides them very well, because this is quite a rough sort of paint, but it is roughly the same sort of paint as this, which you'll see very shortly. So take a little gander at what this looks like now, and when I come back, I'm just literally going to mask it up. The wheels will come off, just to paint around them and what have you. It's going to have 1 or 2 coats on the top and underneath, and when you come back, this deck will be all nicely painted up, looking just like it did day one. And I'll come back to you very shortly once that's been painted. Okay, so straight off the bat, we have the first coat just put on just roughly. I'm going to leave that sticker on there because it does identify the mower and what have you. It's got to have a second coat yet just to bring it up, but most of the imperfections have been lost. I've got a mountful sticker to put on here, which will come off the old machine. I've done the back. I haven't yet done the underside yet, so let that dry off. And then we'll give it a second coat, and then we'll be ready to put the Honda engine back on top and all that sort of lovely stuff. Okay, so as you can see, the Honda engine is now all on. The paint is still very wet. I just managed to get it on there without disturbing too much. I'm going to remove the exhaust muffler and the valve cover guide, because they're going to be sprayed up silver. It just gives it just a bit more of a glance. All of this will be cleaned up, polished off and what have you, and tidied up. I want to tip the lawnmower up on its side. I want to put the blade back on, the belt cover back on, and the belt, do all that, which I can do whilst it's still wet. That's not a problem for me. Just tip it up very carefully and do that. I've got a set of axle stands which I just put my lawnmower, tip it backwards and put them on so I can gain access. Haven't yet found a height restraint rod for that. It is still workable, but it's just the end bit is missing. I need to try and find one. I don't think I have one in my spares as of yet. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll come back once that's done. But it's looking a bit sharper already, and for what it was and to where it is now is night and day. So hopefully it should sell for a pretty penny when it's up and running, if I can get it to idle right. So it may have to have a carburetor clean yet. We shall wait and see. Okay, so this is as far as we've got. I took the spark plug out. I have kept it. I've never heard of it before. It is called a Workshop Essential, and it is a EX60CR. So it is a resistor plug, but I've never heard of that before. So it's got a brand new spark plug in there, NGK jobby. I've taken the valve cover off. That's been sprayed up. Muffer's been sprayed up. Bit of oil spill, which is what it is, but I can touch the paint back up later on, not a problem. Taking the pull cord cover off to be cleaned. That's all been cleaned up and done, so we're nearly there. I've got a bit of crud up inside here to blow off, but I need to make sure the paint's completely dry before I do that. But what I'm going to do is put it all back together now. We'll take it outside, give it a run once I put new oil in, because it still needs new oil to go in there. Take it outside, see if it starts and runs. If it doesn't run, it'll come back in to have the carburetor cleaned, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there it is, all finished, all done. It's had all changed, new spark plug, new air filter, blade sharpened, balance, complete paint job underneath and on top. New sticker put on top as well. Haven't done the pull cord, that looked fine. Just want to try and now start it. I had to adjust the throttle because it was too long, but I just cut the throttle back and used my Z bender to achieve that. That was an easy thing to do. Got to remove the masking tape off of the sticker. Just here, if I can do that without disturbing too much. That's one outside line of it. I can't get hold of the other one. It is there. I'll try and just remove that very quickly without removing the whole sticker itself. There it goes. So that's better. So yes, I haven't started the machine yet. I'm going to turn the fuel on, and then I want the machine to start on its own and to idle and do everything it should do. If not, it'll be going back in for a carburetor clean, but hopefully it will. Let's have a little look, see how we get on. So, throttle all works, onto choke, and let's see how we get on. Pull the throttle up here, put that where it belongs. Right, let's see how we go. Fantastic. So it runs exactly as it should do, which is fantastic for me, because now this little lawnmower, this engine came as part of a job lot, which is cool. So that owes me nothing at all. This came in with a 20 odd pound reduction on a part exchange. So it's theoretical money. It hasn't actually cost me anything with the £20 inspection to diagnose the old lawnmower. So this one's all in for profit and should fetch a pretty price. Okay, so that's that nice big Honda Mountfield 21-inch cut lawnmower, now all up and done and been given a new lease of life. It came in originally just for an inspection because the RV150 engine was no good, and the price of the bits and pieces on top would have cost the owner too much. He wasn't willing to invest in it at all, so he said, I'll buy one off of you, and I said I'll waive the £20 inspection fee, which is what I normally charge just to diagnose an engine, and he went off with a nice big 21-inch Crowcast with a 450 Briggs and Stratton on the top, so he was happy. And I knew I had some spare parts so I could make this lawnmower look nice, just with a little dab of Amorite and a nice spare donut engine, but I've done absolutely nothing to at all. The old lawnmower had a rusted deck, so I did nothing to it at all. Put it straight on top. Within an hour, that machine's up and running, and now it's worth a pretty penny. If you found this video informative, or you actually enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. It helps towards the growth of my channel. Subscribe to my channel as well, and set notifications to all. That way, when you use your YouTube app on your phone or smart device, you'll be told when I've done another video. It won't do it via emails because Google has stopped that. I look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, more importantly, take it easy.